Hello YouTube, got a package in the mail today. Thought I'd do a quick video and share it with you. This is another refractor lot, not nowhere near as large as the last few that I've had come in that I've shared in videos, but this is about 25, I think, and they're all, I think, the same set here. And I'll have to glance at it real quick. Yeah, these are going to be all from the same set. This is from 2025. Yeah, 2025 Topps Prestige. And all of right here, glitter refractors. Mitch Spence with the Oakland A's. James Talion, Cubs. Jamison Talion. Jake Rogers with the Tigers. All of these are really beautiful. Sandy Alcantara. Gordon Graceffo. Orelvis Martinez. I had that guy for a few years as a prospect stash in a dynasty, one of my dynasty leagues. Wilson Contreras, Cardinals. Jonathan Cannon, White Sox. Luis Castilla, very good pitcher, Seattle Mariners. This is a very good pitcher with the Reds. Before that, Nathan Eovaldi, who has really actually finally lived up to the hype that he had as a prospect, at least somewhat. Raciel Iglesias, pitcher there with the Braves. I remember when he came up with Cincinnati. He was actually a starting pitcher to start with. Pablo Lopez with the Twins. William Contreras, the other Contreras brother, with the Brewers. Bryce Miller, Seattle. Max Meyer, Marlins. Injuries have really derailed his career. Joey Loperfido, however you say it. Dominic Fletcher, White Sox. Christian Walker, Astros. Yusei Kikuchi. And this is a duel here. Emmanuel Clase and Ryan Helsley. Fireman card. Beautiful card there. Clase. I love Clase. They're getting ready to trade him, but I love him. Marcell Ozuna. Another Marcell Ozuna pink. Jake Rogers again. Not sure if that's a different variation or not. Noel Marte. Another guy I had as a prospect in a dynasty league for several years and traded him. I hear the ice cream truck going up the street. It always comes through here in the evening looking for kids, and this time of year school's out. Anthony Rizzo, Yankees. But Noel Marte, I had him as a prospect, and I traded him the year before he got in trouble with substance abuse. I mean, not substance abuse, performance enhancing drugs. And I had traded him with a couple of other prospects to get Paul Goldschmidt because I was contending. That's just a few years ago. Luis Matos, Giants. Willie Castro, Twins. And Brian Reynolds with the Pirates, who is actually has been on most of the last 3 or 4 years on one of my dynasty teams. He's a very good player for me. But that is that lot. All of those are very nice cards, and I got this lot and won it in the auction like $5. Right, it was a $5.32, I think, is my winning bid, and so I'm really pleased to get that and that lot. And I'm going to tack on at the end of this video that last video that I had I had about a 50 to 75 lot of refractors, and I had that 200 plus lot of refractors come in. Well, I'd said if I found any serial numbered, I would go back through because I wasn't really looking if it wasn't something that caught my eyes. I was going through them fast. Well, I went through all those, and actually some of these might be from other, because I had a few lots come in over the last week and a half. But I pulled all of this, and not some of the. I'll go through and just share some of these real quickly that were actually hits out of that 200 card lot box, and maybe even that I've had a couple of. There was another 100 card lot of refractors, and then a 50, 75, something like that lot come in. But this is not serial numbered, but there was that CJ Cron. I actually thought it would be pink glitter background, but it wasn't. This one here I didn't see it during the video, and if you were watching, you may have seen it, but it's serial numbered right there on the front of the card to 99, uh, 83 out of 99. And I was looking on the back because normally I was figuring that that would be numbered. This Jake Berger is actually serial numbered on the back to 399. Pink refractor. And some years Tops numbered the pink refractors, and other years they're not numbered. So you never know. Same thing with purple refractors. And I don't know why Tops does that. If you're going to number them, number them. And if you're not, not. But don't go back and forth year in, year out. This one I do remember showing when I found it, that dual. Never heard of this guy, but it's a dual patch auto. Number to 149 right there on the front. I don't know who he is, or I don't really know anything about the Dominican Prospect League, but at any rate, you know, it was a Panini product, so it's a nice card that was threw in. And this Matt Kemp, I did mention it's numbered to 99 on the back. That was a nice, very nice pull out of that. I don't know anything about this guy, David Green. I don't remember him. This is from 2005 Tops, which that might be why. But this was numbered, it's very thick, and it was numbered 30 out of 199 on that top corner there. David Green. Um, and then this Jonas Cespedes, beautiful card here. He was a very good hitter for a lot of years. Numbered to 299 on the back right there. So those were all in those pulls out of those. Uh, these right here are actually Guardians. Right here was another one that I pulled out of there. That was a very short print, and I didn't realize it. I was just looking at it thinking it was just a glitter refractor, but it's numbered on the back to 75. So I put that in the top load. Joey Gerber, and then let's see. I'd shared the 3 basketball ones that were numbered to 999, which isn't that big a deal, but Desmond Mason, Juwan Howard, or Josh Howard, and Udonis Haslem. No big deal. I mean, I don't collect basketball really, but I do. I'm familiar with the names. Here's one that was actually, I didn't mention, I don't think, 300, numbered to 399, Jeff McGinnis. I do remember him when I still lived down south, former North Carolina Tar Heel. Tim Rattay with the 49ers. This one is actually numbered on the back here to 250 down there at the bottom. Michael Gaines. This one here, like an X-Fractor, numbered to 250. This is a blue border, Topps Chrome blue border, and it's numbered, there it is, numbered to 199. That's Bowman Chrome, I'm sorry, Bowman Chrome blue. And where was it at? It's one of the corner there, top corner. And the Plexico was serial numbered right there to 999. And this one I know I didn't. Brandon Webb, this insert right here, I did not realize it is numbered to 200 right there on the bottom corner. And then there was this one. I think I did remember this Diamondback prospect, Wei Ching Hyung. I'm probably butchering that name, but numbered to 499. That was the front of that card. It's a Bowman first. And this former bust of a prospect, top prospect, was numbered to 150. What I'll do is when I go back, I usually keep out, because I collect Guardians, Cleveland Indians, stuff like that. And I do collect Yankee stuff because my dad was always a Yankee fan. But anything else, unless it's somebody that a card I really love or want to keep, or if it's something I'm building a set, I usually just lock these things up or put them together by teams, group them by teams, put them in a resale bin, and then later try to make my money back. Basically collecting what I collect for free. And if I make a little money on the side, great. And if that I'm, happy to just break it even most times. Most time, though, a lot like what I got, especially that 200 count lot and that 100 count lot, you can't go wrong. You can't help but make money. Same thing with that lot I got in today that I showed earlier at the start of the video. This Salvador Perez, I remember I was making a big deal about. That was a nice card because of the bubble gum. Number to 199 on the back. Sorry, right there. So really nice card. The Carlos Carrasco, that I really was tickled to get that black and white negative. It's not numbered, but still, that was a very nice pull. There was, of these other ones, real quick, I'll try to make this quick. This was not numbered, but very nice Ray Wave rookie there, Jones. This Willie Adames was numbered to 199 on the back corner there. And then this Lonnie White, it was obvious in the video, numbered to 299 with the Pirates. This die cut insert of Cody Leitner is not serial numbered. Cesar Hernandez with the Nationals, the blue sparkle, it was numbered to 199 on the back. So is this one to 199, Luis Castilla, Kansas City Royals. This Cedric Mullins here with the Orioles, I did not realize at the time. It's numbered to only 99 on the back, so really nice there. This one I remember showing in the video, numbered to 250. This Todd Frazier purple refractor, Bowman Chrome, is actually numbered to 250 in the top corner there. Kevin Smith, I remember I did see it during the video, numbered to 150. This mini that I remember coming across in the last video, it's Demarius Thomas. It is numbered on the back bottom corner to only 99 ever made. So that's a nice, very nice. Here's some more Guardians. I need to lay to the side because they're not serial numbered, nor was that. That was not. That was cards I laid to the side for later. So that may be it. Yeah, the rest of these are all just Guardians that I had laid to the side to put in my Guardians refractors. So anyway, that's the end of this video. I just wanted to share my mail today when I seen that package come in with those. And I thought I would just go ahead and add to where I have went through and separated all the serial numbers out of those, out of that 100 count. Or no, it was a 200 count lot, and then I had that 50 count lot. That is all. This is all the major lots I should have that will be coming in right now unless I buy any more. I came close to bidding on a massive lot that I seen going off the other day. It was like it was over 1,000 refractors, approximately about 400 of which were serial numbered. Most, though, when I went through the videos, it was so much. At first, it only had like an hour and something left, and the price was low enough. I was like, man, if I won that for like what the bid's sitting at right now, it would be less than 10 cents a refractor. I was like, you can't help but make money on that. And I said it would probably even be some set builder, material in that, especially if it was some update sets. And but when I got to looking through the photos, because it had a lot of photos, there was so many like Bowman Chrome first. And while that's nice if you're a rookie card collector, I don't really care about bust prospects. For me to buy a lot, I prefer a whole lot more guys that have actually made the show. I prefer the major league refractors by far over. I mean, yeah, it's nice if it's your first, Bowman first ever card. But who cares if you never made it out of A-ball? That's my whole point. So, for me as a collector, the collector part of me prefers major leaguers always, and nothing wrong with a prospect now and then, but I'm not gonna buy a whole lot that's of it. 1,000 refractors sounds nice, especially when you include pink, purple, ray wave, sepia, and all that. It's like a mix. It's not just plain refractors. It was like a mix of everything. A lot of serial number, but even some aqua wave, different things. But at the same time, as I look through the pictures, I'm like, most of these guys nobody's ever heard of because they're just bust prospects, especially if it's a prospect. I don't care if it's the first Bowman. If it's from 2018, well, we're in 2025. If you were a prospect then and you never made it to the majors, then you probably never will. And if you do, you're beating long odds at that point. But so I just decided to let it pass because to me it was going to be 50-50 of and while the only way to move on from something like that it would have been like if I was bidding on, and the price it ended up going for, they only went for what would average out to about maybe 8 or 9 cent a refractor, which is a bargain for refractors, even for just standard refractors, but especially when you got serial numbered mixed in with ray wave and all the other. But when 50% of what you're getting is guys that never made it above, the low minors, you can't really make money on those. You're going to have to lot them up either in team lots or in just a whole lot together and sell them for a low price just to get rid of them. So to me, that's just, and then I just didn't even want to fool with them because of that. To get the major leaguers, it would have been nice, you know, and the resale value on those, yeah. Then you're gonna, you could, but I just thought there's too much. If it was all mainly major league stars, from regular top sets, that would have been a totally different ballgame. I'd have been in on that altogether because then it would have been easier to make good money off of a lot like that if you got it, at a reasonable price. And like I said in the last video, if I can get refractors, a lot of refractors, if they're major league players, and the average price is no more than 30 cents a refractor, then usually I'll do it because I can always resell. And even though I might have to sit on them for a while, I can make money, good money, profit off of them because, you know, refractors, for somebody that's a card flipper, they'll say, why would you want to fool with that? But there's a lot of collectors out there in Facebook groups. There's a lot of collectors out there that's shopping on eBay and sites like that that are looking to build sets. There, you would be amazed. I'm in a set builder group on Facebook. You'd be amazed how many guys are still set builders out there that are their whole hobby is just buying collections, buying lots and setting and building complete sets and then resell them. And the sad part is they resell them to guys that turn around and pull the key rookies out of them and then throw pawn off the rest of the sets on whoever. And it never ceases to amaze me. You can go to like local thrift stores in my area and they'll have like boxes and boxes of baseball or football or basketball cards. And it'll say on the side complete. Sometimes it's factory where it'll in the original factory boxes, where they were sold in a factory set, and it'll say complete set. You're taking a gamble if you buy them though, because most of them anymore, and it happens I see it all the time. Guys, even at yard sales, people go to a yard sale, they buy a whole collection. They think, okay, yeah, you know, that had a 84 tops, 83 top set. That had a this and the, set 93 tops with Dirk Jeter. It had Don Mattingly rookie in this one, Tony Gwynn rookie in that one, Wade Boggs rookie, so on. And they're all excited till they get the collection home, and then they find out when they go through the collection that all those big cards were pulled out, and all they have left is the commons. And that happens so much. It happened to me a few years ago. I bought a complete set, I thought, of 1982 tops with the traded. And there was a couple of other mid 80 sets, but I got it all at Goodwill for like $30. And I'm like, oh man, I just got, an 82 tops complete set, 82 tops traded complete set, $30. I'm thinking the Cal Ripkens. The other sets were kind of like not that big a deal to me at the time. I know one of them was a 84 Fleer, which is a nice set, but is, the keys there, you Don Mattingly, Darryl Strawberry, but not your key Hall of Famers. But there was no, it would have been nice if it was 84 Fleer update with Kirby Puckett, Roger Clemens, all that. But anyway, I come home, I was all excited. And, every star, and not just the Ripkins were gone, but every Hall of Famer was gone from that 82 top set. And there was dupes. It was like somebody had took a, 800 count box and they had pulled out all the good cards from the set. And then they had took to fill the space up to make it look like it was a complete set. They had put duplicates of other 82 tops commons in the slot to fill it up. Every star was gone. I mean, it was a nice lot of cards if you were looking to build a set. But for what I gave for that lot, and every one of those sets were like that. The 82 tops traded, the 84 Fleer, and there was something else. But I gave $30 for that, and what I ended up with just $30 of commons. There was nothing. There might have been one or two. There was some semi-stars, but by semi-stars I mean like guys that were great real life players, but their cards aren't worth very much because they're not in the Hall of Fame. Guys like your Frank Whites from the Kansas City Royals, All-Star Gold Glove second baseman cards are worthless. Stuff, guys like that. And I don't know why he can't. Fred Lynn is another one. Fred Lynn was a great player, great player. He was a star, multi-time All-Star, big-time power hitter, and yet, he was a Rookie of the Year MVP, and yet his cards are worthless unless you're talking about his rookie card, pretty much. So because he didn't do it over a long enough span, mainly because of injuries, to become a Hall of Fame worthy player. So that's the way it goes. But you have to really watch. And so I've got to where now I have to see something before I'll buy something. I won't go into a thrift store and just say, yeah, I'll buy every bit of this if you've got like a huge box for one money, because most of what ends up in these thrift stores today has been picked through by people like you and me already that bought it from somebody else, and everything that has any value at all has been pulled from it, and it's just commons that has been tossed. And for that, I don't want to fool with at my age. But if I was a guy that liked building sets, I'll tell you what, the only sets I'm interested in building is either refractor or vintage sets. And by vintage, it's got to be older than, it's got to be 80, about 1980 or older, for me to be really interested. I passed up at a yard sale a huge bunch of 84 Topps cards not long ago, mainly because the guy admitted it was mainly commons, that everything good had been pulled out of them. There was some 85 Topps. I looked through a couple of stacks, and everything I seen was commons. And because he was telling me up front all the key rookies, whatever, had been pulled, I just passed on it. And he was only asking $20 for it. It was like 84 and 85 Topps, and I just said, I don't want it. They're just. I'm not saying they're not worth $20. If you to a set builder, they would be, because then, whatever you might have, and they were in pretty good shape. It was just a matter of, to me, I didn't want them. If they'd had the stars in them, yeah. And I honestly, though, then I might have actually thought about, do I want to build these sets on up, finish them out, and either keep or for down the road, or sell them now, or would I want to just pull the stars and then give the commons away or whatever, or get rid of them. And I know somebody's going to say, well, you should be selling your commons. The thing is, I've tried that. I mean, even putting older commons, like from the earlier 80s, in the box. I have tried listing medium and large flat rate boxes on eBay, and they sit, pictures. You've got to throw something in them. I mean, they do sell at times, and I bought a few in the past years ago when I was really into doing a lot of TTM. But the problem is nobody is collecting anymore. It's getting back like it was before COVID, and the people that are collecting are fewer and farther between, and they're only looking for what they're looking for. And it's so cards like that just sit on eBay. You can list them, and they just sit there and sit there and sit there. And so what I started doing to get rid of cards like that is, there's a group of kids that moved in up the street. There was already some kids that lived across the street. I gave a bunch of cards to a few years ago, and I was the woman's son. I was giving him cards up until, I don't know. One day I was outside, and he just said, "Hey, if you get any more baseball cards, if you want to, like," he was like, "I appreciate it and everything, like, but he's like, I've just quit collecting, so it's not that I'm not getting rid of my collection, but I've just quit collecting, so you can give them to somebody else if you want to, because." And I think what it was, he's got old enough now. He's realized that I was mainly giving him commons, cards that wasn't worth that much. They were fun to him when he was like 5 years old, well, I think I was maybe about 8, 9 years old when I started giving them to him. But now that he's a teenager, he's like, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. And so there's some kids that moved in up the street, and I started giving them to those kids, a couple of boys, and they like basketball. But that they're because they're free, they're thrilled with the commons. But I started giving a lot of commons away to those kids, because hey, it might turn them into a collector one day down the road. You never know. And even if it doesn't, it made their day. It made those kids' day, and that's what it's all about to me. Because when I was a kid, you know what made my day? There was a couple of dealers at flea markets in the area that my parents used to go to when I was a kid. And what really made my day was the couple of dealers that I remember, like, because they knew I didn't have a lot of money. I would have my allowance, and I'm trying to buy, my cards. I was wanting cards for my favorite team, and I was wanting Mike Schmidt cards, my favorite player. But I was on a limited budget. I was also trying to build sets for whatever year it was, and so I was looking for common cards I didn't have. And I remember like there was this one guy. It was like, and I can tell you the year, 85. It was 1985 because it was 85 tops. I was trying to build a set, and I'm looking. He had these boxes full where he's a dealer. He bought vending cases. He had open vending boxes, and he has all these commons. And commons were he was selling them at that time 5 cents a piece. This is during the mid '80s baseball card craze. Everybody collected cards. Old guys, young guys, girls did. And but I remember that guy would he had a sign on the little sign stuck in the back of the boxes, all uh, cards in this box, 5 cent each or 25 for $1. And I would be like, cool, because if I would be looking through hoping I could find 25 cards I needed for my complete set, because for $1 you got five more than you did if you just bought a few. And I remember like where I came every weekend to that guy, he would wait till there was nobody. Like if I'm standing there looking through his cards, I remember he would wait till there was nobody else at the table at that time, like any other potential customers had walked away, and he would walk over and he would say, "Hey kid, pick you out 30." And that would tickle me to death because he was going to give me five more cards for my dollar. And I know that's nothing. Those cards today, nickel a piece, if you can get it. But it was just to a kid that was, at that time, that was huge to me. And it was huge to give my comments to these kids up the road, even though they said, we like basketball better than any other sport. At the same time, still, they were thrilled to get what I gave them, and it was mostly baseball. And so, anyway, if you've got cards that you don't want, find a kid to give them to if you can, because you never know. It might cause a kid to become a sports fan, and if it does, it may keep them out of trouble as they get bigger. Because you would be amazed at how many kids become sports fans and grow up playing sports in school instead of hanging out with the wrong crowd after school. They're going to practice after school, and it keeps them out of trouble. Because it's very easy when for these young kids, especially in today's world, and if you live in a city like me, it's very easy to fall in with the wrong crowd if you're just out here hanging around on a corner somewhere. You know. Um, but anyway, thank you all for watching. Be back again soon with more videos.